Hi guys, welcome back to Ignition DVD.
We've got another top-notch edition lined up for you.
We've got some killer sex-spec rides as well as some show drift and drag event action.
We've also got a couple of little surprises lined up for you, so let's get into it.
Our first two cars are straight up hot.
Carlin's RX-7 has plenty of show and street cred, and Steve's SX Boss S15 is one of the hottest sex-spec cars doing the rounds at the moment.
And they both have the power to back up their looks as well. Check them out.
It's a feeling, a sense. There's a presence around you beyond words, beyond understanding, and beyond recognition. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Your eyes desperately scramble for any clue as to the identity of this enigma. It reveals itself. The calm washes over you, and all that's left for you to do is pick up your jaw and wipe the drool off your chin.
Hi, my name is Carlin Pham. I'm 28 years old, I'm from Brisbane, and I drive a Mazda RX-7 Series 8. I bought this car in August 2006. I've travelled to New South Wales a couple of times to look for a nice Series 8. Couldn't find any. I probably looked at maybe 12 cars. Flew back to Brisbane. A couple of weeks later, there was one advertised in the paper, so I bought it. It was stock standard, no modification. The original car was blue, just wanted something really standard.
So what makes this FD any different to other show cars? It's got bright candy paint, cool rims, and plenty of go-fast bits, right? Well, it's not what parts it's got, it's how they work together. Let's take a closer look, starting with the body. To kick it off fresh, a house of colour candy violet coats the mighty Maz. The custom front and rear bars have polished alloy inserts retrofitted. Instead of the same old wide body kit, the factory guards have been sliced and extended to cap off its ultra-aggressive stance. Making the most of that extra space under the guards are 19-inch rims from Exclusive with the perfect amount of dish. Aussie spec Teen Super Streets provide a comfy and nimble ride, as well as the height adjustment needed to set off this monster.
In Queensland, the standard height is 10 centimetres around, so when I got DMD to do the body kit, I made sure that it did 10.5 centimetres ride height all around. Still pretty legal. Haven't been pulled over by any cops yet, so I'm happy about that. I just wanted something, simple, but a bit out there, a bit different as well. I don't like having similar RX-7s like other people.
Jump in and you won't want to leave, thanks to a glorious plush retrim in Italian leather and a kick-in system. For crystal clear highs, there are focal splits up front, and for thump and bass, two 12-inch Alpine Type R subs in the back, all controlled by an Alpine DVD head unit.
The reason I built this car was basically I wanted a daily driver, I guess a part-time show car as well. I got a lot of reactions actually, but in the beginning it was like, holy hell, I get a lot of attention, but after a while you kind of get embarrassed. Every time I drive it, I get someone looking at it or making comments. Good comments though, so far so good.
Wow, I like it. Is it for sale?
From Beats to Boost, under the hood are all the right parts to let this monster loose on the streets. The late model RX-7s have plenty of poke out of the box, but to really let that rotor roar, Carlin had the factory twin turbos high-flowed.
Well, the reason why I kept these turbo standard just high-floated because it's actually my missus' car as well. She drives it daily. It goes alright for what it is.
Twin Trust Air NX filters suck it in, and an HKS Super Sequential and 3.5 exhaust push it out. There's also a lot of monkey business going on in there, with polished intercooler piping and alloy engine covers from Monkey Warehouse. The colour-coded nitrous bottle is a cool touch. Add a little ECU magic thanks to a Power FC and AVCR, and it's an easy 340 horsepower at the treads.
The style of the car, I think more towards Jap with the big rear bar at the end and the deep dish wheels. A bit more like show look as well.
It moves like the wind, roars like the savage, and emerges like dusk. Beast of burden or vandal heart? You decide. Mainline Dynalog dynos are the world's most advanced chassis dyno. Owned and assembled right here in Australia, they set the standard for 21st century technology and accuracy. They're known as the No Fudge dyno. Mainline Dynalog is the official dyno supplier and operator for the Auto Salon National Power Championship, used for its accuracy, repeatability and consistency. With over 500 logging channels available and advanced software, compiling and analysing data is a breeze. They can also plug in to many leading aftermarket ECUs for further diagnostic and logging options. High quality deep knurled rollers along with tie-down hoops give unrivaled traction. Real world testing has seen well over 1,000 horsepower at the wheels. No fuss, no sweat. So no matter what you put into your car, Mainline will make sure you get the most out. A plate like SX Boss is a bold statement. Because to become the boss, you've got to beat the best in the game. Steve's plate has two meanings, as he not only wanted to build the best 200 SX in Australia, he wanted to build the best sex spec one as well.
Hi, my name's Steve, I'm 21 years old from Sydney, and this is my all-out sex spec 200 SX. My goal for the car, like I've seen a lot of other 200 SXs out there and other cars for that matter claiming to do the whole sex spec thing, and I just feel that I could have done the job as well. So I went out, I bought my second 200 SX and just went all out on it.
Sydney is the home of sex spec. Steve took his S15 to the boys at Exquisite Customs to receive the ultimate makeover and build his dream car.
I took it to Exquisite originally because they were doing, a couple of cars out at the time. For example, Benji Marshall's Proton. That thing looked nuts to me, for a Proton. There was other things like their Ford XP. I thought that was done brilliant. Their paintwork in that was absolutely brilliant. And I thought they were the right people to do the work. They're your one-stop custom shop.
In the end, it was all worth it as the car has picked up an array of trophies, such as People's Choice, Best Engine Bay, Best Nissan, and the list goes on. custom pearl base with a House of Colour magenta candy finish and staggered 20-inch and 22-inch Da Vinci chromies are the first signs that this 200 is going to live up to its name. Keeping the Boss low and slow for cruising the strip is a custom Pro Bag airbag setup. Open the door and it's floor-to-ceiling customization. More snakeskin than Tony Soprano's shoe closet, with quality Italian leather and suede to match. Every surface has been improved in some way. Reshaping the roof lining, door trims and other interior plastics help give the car a more unique appearance to the trained eye. Custom downlights and illumination finish off the cabin.
I chose this exterior colour because it was something that was my own touch. Me and Eamon from Exquisite Customs, we sat and we worked the colour actually based on something that House of Colour brought out in a blue. So we thought it'd be a fantastic idea to move the magenta instead. Originally I was actually going to go candy apple red or perhaps a purple or something, but we decided to do something a little more innovative. I'm a strong believer in like making things flow, and who does baby pink snakeskin? You know, it's something that I thought was a good catch.
The fully integrated sound system starts with a Pioneer double DIN head unit with Orion 6-inch speakers up front in custom door pods and Orion component splits in the rear. Pop the shaved boot and you'll find amongst the red neon glow a host of Orion subs and amps to keep the Boss pumping into the night. Under the hood of SX Boss is one of the most highly detailed engine bays on the show scene. While the engine was out, all of the unwanted holes were filled in and everything was smoothed out. The SR20 was packed with forged internals, as well as being detailed from sump to rocker cover. Once it was back in the car, everything that was reinstalled was either painted or chromed, and braided lines were used everywhere, even for the new brake lines. The detailing is simply amazing. The power adder is the Garrett GT35R and is controlled by the Teal external gate and dumps into a custom 3-inch exhaust system with a 4-inch X-Force muffler. The custom intake looks unreal, and the boosted air is forced through a custom intercooler setup into the Greddy plenum and BMC throttle body. The braided fuel lines feed the polished fuel rail, filled with 850cc SARD injectors. A Haltech E8 ECU was installed and tuned, and on race fuel, SX Boss sees a massive 350 kilowatts at the treads, proving it ain't no show pony. SX Boss also makes a healthy 270 kilowatts on pump gas.
My future with the car, I'd like to be, a car that I can drive whenever I feel like it. Just jump in there and go for a drive. I don't want to feel, I can't drive it because I don't want to scratch anything or anything like that. That's why I put the airbag suspension, so there'll be no scraping or anything like that. As for future modifications, I've got a couple of things in mind, but time will tell. I'll get back to you.
With all the bases covered, we'll have to see if Steve can remain the big boss of Sylvia's on the show scene. Toyo tyres are a leader in the sports compact car industry. They pride themselves on performance, quality and value. They have a tyre range to suit all car enthusiasts. Toyo are big supporters of the sports compact car scene in Australia. They're the naming rights sponsor of the Sports Compact Drag Racing Series and the Drift Australia Championship Series. Team Toyo was created to help support some of Australia's top race teams and drivers, including Adam Truella and the Slide Effects Drift Team. Corporal Christian Pickering in the CTS 180SX. GT Auto Sound's Mental R34. Denzo the Great, Danny Vahumis from JMS. Australia's only pro-female drifter, Drift Cat. Danny Keneally from ADD Racing. And James Vahumis at D1 Garage. For more information on the Toyo range and dealer locations, head to toyo.com.au.
You know what? I think that was a pretty good way to start the edition.
Definitely. But before we go on, where have you been? I haven't seen you in the office for the last 2 weeks.
Hey, I'm glad somebody noticed.
Oh, baby.
No, I've been over in the USA checking out their crazy car scene.
Sounds like fun, but what'd you do while you were there?
It's a pretty wild trip, actually.
Yeah.
A little bit too much to talk about, I think, right here. So we've put together a feature on what you're going to be seeing over the next few issues of Ignition DVD from our crazy USA road trip.
Sounds cool. Then we check out take 2 of the Castarola Edge Jamboree.
Yeah, the last one rained out, but this one more than made up for it as we got to see one of the most epic battles we've ever seen in sports compact drag racing.
Then we get to take a look at one of the craziest characters in drifting, Chris Easton and his R31 Skyline, affectionately known as the Black Pearl.
Shooting that feature was crazy. Yeah. This one is going to be good for a laugh. Enjoy. Our 2007 American road trip was a big one. Over the next few issues, we will be bringing you some top-notch features from the US of A. We started our trip in Sin City and met up with some of our friends from the lower level mini truck club in WA. Leon, Brad, and Julian. Las Vegas is the home of the world's largest car show, SEMA. 4 days of madness with the hottest cars and girls and a heap of celebrities. Look out for our massive SEMA special in edition 28.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Gra, and we are at SEMA 2007, and we're at the Koenig Wheels booth, and you're watching Ignition DVD.
What's going on, Australia? I'm Vaughn Gittin Jr. here at the Bosch booth, SEMA 2007, driver of the Team Falcon Mustang. You're watching Ignition DVD. Rock out.
What is going on, man? You already know what I'm repping for. Ignition, you know what I'm saying? We love you, Australia.
Ignition DVD. Do you eat?
This is Ryan here, kicking it live at SEMA 2007, and you're watching Ignition DVD.
So this is your boy Ed from West Coast Customs with Ignition DVD. Get it, that's the best of the best, homies. Holla.
I like this DVD. Very delicious. Thank you.
We couldn't leave Vegas without a trip to the top of the Stratosphere Hotel and a helicopter run through the Grand Canyon. Anything to do with cars, but a helicopter ride in the Grand Canyon is still all types of cool. It was then time for a good old-fashioned road trip to Los Angeles, California. Seriously, no one told me the GTR had its own star on the Walk of Fame at Hollywood. Check this out. While in LA, we hooked up with our friends from D Sport magazine and featured their mental project car, a 1,000 horsepower R33 GTR. We also checked out the last round of the import drag racing circuit. They love their Hondas in LA, and seeing a street-registered Civic do a 10-second pass at over 150 miles per hour is something else. We also caught up with our buddies at West Coast Customs to see what's been happening since our last visit.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy once again, Big Dane, West Coast Customs representing, baby. I want to welcome y'all back personally to West Coast Customs on behalf of Ryan and all the staff here. It's been 12 months since y'all been here. A whole lot of crazy stuff has changed, man. And I'm here to show it to you once again.
We also headed out to Buttonwillow Raceway again to check out the Super Lap Battle. The star of the show was the HKS Evo Lancer, driven by Nob Taniguchi.
Hello, Australia. My name is Nob Taniguchi from HKS. You watch Ignition DVD. Yeah.
You can expect a whole lot more action from the US as Ignition will be setting up an office in LA in 2008. The details are pretty hush-hush at the moment, but Ignition viewers will be the first to know. To check out the results of the V-Sport DBA Brake Upgrade Kit, head to the product review section in Ignition X. Jamboree is the granddaddy of them all. Last time around, the skies weren't kind, with the rain putting an end to what was a very anticipated weekend. This time around, the temperatures were up, sun was shining, and the crowd flocked once again. A more perfect day couldn't have been imagined for version 2 of the final round of the Sports Compact Nationals. Jamboree is the true national proving ground for the biggest workshops and teams to pit their machines against each other down the quarter mile. All the power players had their best on display for all to see. With the crowd free to roam, it gives enthusiasts a chance to talk to teams and drivers in a relaxed and friendly atmosphere. With silverware up for grabs in over 10 categories for cars and bikes, and the usual 2-day format being condensed into one day, the drag racing was non-stop. Jamboree isn't all about racing. It's an almost carnival atmosphere with so much to see and do. The Babe and Bikini contests are a Jamboree tradition, providing an enjoyable break for fans and competitors alike. The show and shine was bigger and better, with awesome club displays stealing the show, as well as some Ignition feature cars. Trade stands give patrons a no-pressure environment to get the best possible info on modifying their cars. The Castrol Edge tent was filled with some serious horsepower. As night fell and the temperatures dropped, times tumbled, and it was down to the business end of the series. In the extreme class, Rocco's 2JZ powered RX-7 took honours. Queen Street Smash turned their quad-rotor BMW from a show car back into a drag car and had some wild runs. Supermod was won by Ray and Matt's 7M GTE powered Dado, with Rob Barak in the Castrol Edge and APC-backed Lancer coming second. Mark Jacobson in the NPC and Godzilla Motorsport GTR moved to the Super Mod class and switched to a Liberty air-shifted box and full slicks. It paid off as he ran as quick as 8:57 and as fast as 162 miles per hour. He also took the win for the series. Shane Crichton in the Cressida may not have made it to the podium at this event, but he secured his series win in the street rear-wheel drive category. Damien McKern was out in Grumpy 2 and made it to the semis, which was enough for him to take out the 289 series win. Gas Motorsport debuted the X Titan Motorsport Celica and it consistently ran into the sixes. Performance were out to regain their dominance in the Pro Turbo category in their MX-6. The finals in Pro Turbo was what everyone was after. A showdown between piston and rotary power. Joe Signorelli with 2JZ power going against George Raham with 20B power. Who would take dominance in the sports compact scene? Everyone was on the edge of their seat. The Gas Motorsport crew were ecstatic with the win, especially considering it was the car's first major meet. The win also meant that Gas Motorsport took the win of the series by only 5 points over Ivan Scaramucca in the Pack Performance RX-3.
That is the first time we've debuted the car and it's going real good. Still, we've got a bit more power to put in it, but we didn't need it today. Everything was fine.
What a way to end the season. With so many new and improved cars lined up for next year, the 2008 series is set to be even bigger. Check out jamboree.com.au for all the action.
Meet Clay, an 18-year-old modified car enthusiast who has just received his license and the keys to a Lancer. He is about to purchase his first mod.
Yeah, mate, you can't go wrong with Wayland blowers.
Do you see what's happening here? Clay has no idea what he's doing. Before you buy that blow-off valve for your naturally aspirated vehicle, log on to motoractive.com.au and do your research from the start. Save time, money, and above all, heartbreak. Just ask any true modifier.
I'm East Dave. I'm 28 years old. I drive the R31 known as the Black Pearl. I'm from Bankstown. And Mungie is good.
The drift scene is filled with interesting and crazy characters, and Chris Easton is certainly one of them. His crazy antics and wild driving style have given him a big following in the drift scene. He has also single-handedly raised the image of the R31 Skyline at the same time.
Hi, my name's Chris Easton and I'm the driver of the Black Pearl, the R31. I come from Bankstown, which is in good old Western Sydney. Being a white boy in Bankstown, it's a pretty tough life. I learned my great mungeeing technique from dodging bullets in Bankstown Square. My favourite style of car, the R31, is getting a bit old now. This particular model was an 87 model. What more could you ask for from a car? Entertaining, good looking, hot.
Easto has had the car for a while now, and during the early days, Easto and his mates thought the car was cursed because of how many breakages it had. So the nickname, the Black Pearl, was given and Pirate Drift was born.
Aye, aye, Captain! Oh!
The R31 was highly developed in 2006 when Easto competed in Super Drift, and in 2007, Easto proved the might of the R31, finishing on the podium in the first round of the Toyo Drift Australia Series. He also took out Rookie of the Year. So let's take a look at the Black Pearl.
Okay, now here we have the stock standard R31 headlights, non-projectors. We used to run projectors on these, but I smashed about 2 pairs, and when they're about $300 a pop, really gets on the ghoulies after a while. I get sick of it, so it's just the bog stockers. The body kit, majority of the body kit is R31 house, bonnet, lip, skirts, rear bar, and the carbon fibre boot lid, all R31 house products. We also have some rear view mirrors, they're lovely. They're for seeing backwards and next to you. It's always good to check for motorcyclists. Fantastic, it's one of those things. Here we have a bit of duct tape. R31 is not scared of duct tape. She uses quite a bit of it from time to time, and for those quick repairs, the 2-minute repairs, cable ties and duct tape. Okay, here we have my name. We like to have my name on the car because it is my car. It's always good. I really suggest people put their names on their street cars. So boys, make sure you got your phone numbers and your name on the car so the girls can give you a ring, yeah? Okay. See, we got the Papa Smurf rims. Papa Smurf Ferds Blue rims. Goes really well with these Toyo stickers. Toyo, very good tyres, very good tyres. Mentioning tyres, the Toyo Trampio TPGs. Excellent grip, excellent tyre.
The rims are 17-inch Koya Driftex and are wrapped in Toyo tyres.
Okay, we step inside. We've got a passenger seat today. I was sitting in a set of traffic lights in Stacey Street in Bankstown the other week, and a lovely young lady said to me, she said, Chris, how can I come for a ride when you don't have a passenger seat? And I said, you know, that's not such a bad idea. Give me a call later. Anyhow, I chucked in the Mark 1 seat out of a mate's car. It doesn't get much better. I mean, it's got a little bit of dirt and a little bit of stuff on it, but you know, the girls don't care. They're looking out the windscreen or looking at me, you know, like, just dead sexy, I am. We've got plenty of gauges. Gauges are awesome for drift cars, you see. The R31 loves her gauges. Always need gauges. The information you get from gauges is priceless. And also the boasting fact that you can say, when I was going around the corner at 140 kilometres an hour, I was looking at my boost gauge and it was reading 14-pound boost. People never believe you, but then they go, oh wow, you know, that's amazing. Okay, any car, any drift car would not be complete without a stereo. The fact of not having a stereo means that you're a bit of a wuss and you're listening to the car too much. What more could get you more pumped up and ready to rock and roll out the racetrack?
To help the R31 handle like its later model cousins, Easto installed a full R33 rear subframe, therefore enabling him to raid the G4 R33 catalogue of coilovers and every adjustable suspension part possible. He also took the brakes from an R33 Skyline too. So what's under the hood of the Black Pearl?
Okay, Here we have the power plant behind the R31 Black Pearl. Power plant is a hybrid RB25, RB30 engine. It consists of basically a bog stock RB25 head, RB25 injectors, bolted to a bog stock $100 bottom end, which just so happens to have lasted pumping out 270 odd kilowatts at 1 bar for approximately about 16 to 17 months, I think we're up to right now. Turbocharger. As a turbocharger, we have a XR6 Falcon turbocharger, believe it or not. The only modification we needed for the turbo to maintain the boost is a 38mm teal external wastegate, which also provides as an audio deterrent to other drifters you're drifting behind, so you scare the living daylights out of the suckers when you're right next to them. But we needed some shiny components, so we went to a fabricator called Roadrunner Fabrications, and he fabricated some shiny stuff so people, got attracted to the home of the Black Pearl.
Supplying the juice to the engine is a Bosch fuel pump, and a SARD reg ups the fuel pressure. A Haltech E11 version 2 controls the engine and was tuned by Mix Motorsport. Easto's sponsor Just Jap provided all of the cooling parts, including radiator, intercooler, oil and power steering cooler. Lasting a year and a half of Easto's abuse is a feat in itself. Testament to the Dirty 30. Taking the punishment is some top-level gear, an OS Geekin twin-plate clutch and a Nismo Pro LSD. Easto certainly is an entertainer. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled off the port bow, as when the Black Pearl sails, it's one to watch.
Enjoying a long-standing reputation for quality work and professional service, Platinum Car Audio and Interiors experienced staff consistently produce some of Australia's most highly awarded show cars. Platinum can turn daily drivers into complete showstoppers, and they carry all the leading brands. Platinum Car Audio and Interiors are the ultimate choice, whether you're after a simple head unit upgrade or a complete interior retrim and custom audio fit-out. With packages to suit any budget, including leather retrims from as little as $2,200 or complete audio upgrade packages from only $1,000. To find out more, visit platinumcai.com.au.
That guy is crazy.
But oh so funny. Only Easto could pull off a feature like that.
I think I was laughing for most of the time. What a classic.
Pure gold. But now we're going to check out Street Talk on the Gold Coast and a Lancer with the lot. At Street Talk on the Gold Coast for the second two-day event on the Raceline calendar for this year. Now with indoor and outdoor show and shines, 2 dynos running non-stop all weekend, drifting demos and competitions, the King of the Coast freestyle motocross, kids shows, stunt shows, rides, hot girls, and an atmosphere you can only come to expect from the Gold Coast. What more could you possibly want? We're in the Elite Pavilion, which has some of the hottest show cars in Queensland and a few performance cars to boot. So let's have a look around and see what's here. The main pavilion was filled with cars, including the crew from Rice Rockets Car Club. Adrenaline Auto Styling had 2 wild RB-powered Silvias on display. Ignition DVD took up the bottom pavilion along with Dyson Rotary's dyno. We had Mark's Jet 180 alongside our Jet 200, Pete's Drift Monkey Silvia, and Shane's hot S14 200SX. We also had an array of drift cars too. Saturday morning saw the Drift Car Dyno Comp with all the cars from Stadium Drift competing. Many looked on eagerly as Trent from Mercury Motorsport and Camo from Cameron's Bodyworks put on their twin-cam RB30 drift monsters on the rollers. Mad Mick Tyler in the Safiro and Eugene Aronson in the 180SX flew the 4-cylinder flag. In the main pavilion, the boys from High Talk were holding the big hitters dyno comp. Pete had his 2JZ powered S13 Silvia out. We brought out Project 200 for a dyno run for the crowd. After a warm-up run, we turned up the boost to 23 PSI. Almost 450 rear-wheel horsepower, revving to 8,600 RPM, gave us the win in the 4-cylinder category. Mark then bought his 2JZ GTE 180SX from the ignition stand out and took the win in the 6-cylinder category and took the win for the most powerful car at the show. Outside saw a separate show and shine on the Sunday and the running of the King of the Coast freestyle motocross competition. Whether you're into bikes or not, watching the pro riders is certainly a sight to behold.
Right now. Put your hands together and make some noise for 23-year-old Cameron Sinclair.
Back inside, we decided to help host the Bikini Comp. Up on stage certainly was the best place to watch it from as a host of lovely ladies hit the stage. In the end, the crowd voted Zilda the winner, and Sunday saw the Dash for Cash tandem drifting competition. The tight track makes for some intense drifting. We're back with you, Hey, who's over from Nismo Japan. Mate, now you saw the DA round. What did you think of Stadium Drift?
It was really funny and so many people coming, and the drift event comes very, very popular in Australia, I feel.
So what did you think of the quality of the cars here in Australia? Or what did you think of our level of cars?
Quality is not much like Japan, but it's not bad. So it's getting good. Yes. So I hope the quality goes to very good with Nismo Pass.
I know you can't say anything, you'll get in trouble, but are you excited about the new GTR coming?
Okay, I hear everybody is very interested in next GTR.
So you've seen one and you know about it. You already know what it's going to have and everything officially, and you're not allowed to tell anyone, or we're not going to ask. We know you can't.
I just can't smile.
There were some pro teams in the mix at Street Talk, including John and Andy and the Racing Logic Nissans, Chris Nutley and Danny Keneally in the Toyo Hog's Breath Cafe Nissans, the Leighton Fine and Darren Appleton of Team Pia, Mad Mick Tyler and Gibbsy also teamed up and went for the win. It was tough, but Team Pia showed why they are considered the best drift team in Australia and took the win. Next on the calendar, Raceline invades the Lexmark Indy 300. For more information on Raceline events, log on to racelinepromotions.com.
3, 2, 1, go.
By signing up to the Hot Fours newsletter, you'll be ahead of the pack when it comes to the latest news, event info, what's on the forums, and a sneak preview of what's in the next issue. It's easy to sign up. Just head to www.hotfours.com and follow the links to the newsletter page. There you can tell us a little more about yourself, and when you hit the submit button, you've instantly put yourself in the running to win great prizes each and every month. Go on. What are you waiting for?
Go.
It's a likely story. You turn 18, you get a car, and you can't stop imagining the possibilities. Then the road travelled can take two directions. You can be realistic, do the basic stuff, rims, kit and stereo, or you can follow your dreams and make it a reality.
Hi, my name's Matt, I'm from Sydney, and this is my Mitsubishi Lancer.
At 21 years of age, Matt has completed what some would take a lifetime to accomplish.
I got the car 4 years ago. The original modification was to have some big horsepower under it, but then 2 years later I decided to get a bit of show about it.
The first captivating feature of this car is its crazy paint job.
Harlequins and chameleons were in my mind, and an orange type colour, but this one stuck as a standout colour. It got base coated in black, and then the colour was applied, put diamond shards through it, and then we flow coated it, and there's a finished product.
Matt didn't cut any corners, with pumped Evo front and rear guards and spoiler. With a Duco that turned heads in the sunlight, the rolling stock needed to do the same, so nice flat chromies were the only way to roll. With his first set of goals accomplished, it was time to force some boost. Matt stuck to his guns and dropped in the heart of an Evo. Standard parts don't mix well with Matt's goals, so he added some thoughtful go-fast bits to squeeze a little more out of his Lancer. Under the carbon fibre bonnet, the air is inducted via a K&N pod filter and expelled to a TurboSmart V-port blow-off valve, then roaring at the 3-inch high-flow exhaust. For extra strength under high revs are Tomei camshafts and adjustable cam gears. The standard issue turbo is pushing an aggressive 20 psi with a TurboSmart e-boost controller. Fuel and timing are handled by the remapped Evo 6 ECU. A safe tune is making 200 kilowatts at the wheels day after day. Not bad for a show car. The interior is fully decked out in a classic show car style. Nearly everything has been re-trimmed in yellow leather and suede. Custom enclosures for the boot, parcel shelf and door trims showcase the top-end Fusion splits, crossovers, tweeters, amps, capacitors and subs. LCD monitors in the headrests are controlled by an Alpine touchscreen head unit.
The car spends more time in the shop than it does on the road, but just driving it every day just feels good. Now that I've worked hard to get something to show for it and I'm proud of.
The best thing about imagination is the more you use it, the better it gets. We can't wait to see what Matt comes up with next.
Since the early 90s, Australian-owned company EMS has been providing tuners, enthusiasts and modifiers with seamless solutions for aftermarket engine management needs. EMS designs and manufactures their ECUs right here in Australia. All ECUs are individually tested before being distributed to markets in Australia, Japan, Europe, the United States and many other countries. EMS's ECUs are used in all forms of motorsport for their many features, high performance and reliability. There's an EMS solution for every application, offering max power, optimum performance and ECU reliability for your ride. There's also authorised dealers in every state that offer full tuning, support and upgrades for any EMS products. For more information on EMS systems and other quality EMS products, including the AIM Digital Dash range and data loggers, visit fuelinjection.com.
It's good to see you got your car out.
That's what it's for.
Oh yeah. So what's with the new threads? Did you go shopping in America?
Just a little bit. No, this one's a sample of West Coast Customs' new clothing brand called Wrench. It hasn't been officially released yet, so it's the first one in Australia.
Well, that's cool. But we'll keep you guys updated to when it actually is released in Australia.
Now it's time for the recent Sydney Motor Show.
There were no modified cars at the Australian International Motor Show, but it lets us take a look at what we will be modifying in the future.
Then we've got a little surprise for you, followed by a tough mongrel S13 Silvia with a 2JZ GTE engine swap. Over 10 days in October, over 250,000 people will head to the Australian International Motor Show to check out the latest innovations from the world's automotive power players. From the beautiful to the bold, the ultra-modern, the classics, and the downright bizarre. Now the big news for us here at the Sydney Motor Show is of course the launch of the new Evo 10 Lancer. Now we're lucky enough to see it here in Australia 3 weeks before its official launch in Japan, so the guys here at Mitsubishi Australia are a little bit tight-lipped about the full engine and drivetrain specifications of the car, but let's see if we can get one opened up and take a closer look inside. The Australian public were lucky enough to see the new Lancer Evolution before its official release in Japan. Mitsubishi Australia were kind enough to let Ignition take a sneak peek of the car before the general public entered the show. The car is a total redesign, with advancement in suspension, drivetrain and the power plant. Its radical new design still looks tough and takes the Lancer Evolution into the future. This is a Japanese spec model, so we can't give you any firm specifications or prices until the official Australian launch in the first quarter of 2008. Rest assured, we'll be doing a full product review as soon as one is available. Mitsubishi Australia also had its Panther lineup on display, showing just what it can do with its current model lineup. The Rally Art section had 2 driving simulators so that people could have a virtual drive of the new Evolution. Renee and I jumped in, and Renee, well, she did her best. You know I finished, don't you?
Oh my god, that sucks!
Whether you can afford them or not, you can't help but check out some of Europe's finest. Now when you see this badge and the quad tailpipes on the back of a BMW 3 Series, you know that it ain't no ordinary Beamer. The new M3 has finally hit Australian shore, sporting the new 309 kilowatt V8. Let's just hope it's worth the wait. You know, with the M-Series Beamers, it's always the little touches that not everyone notices at first glance that makes these things so good. How about the carbon roof, the wide body guards, the vents in the front guards, the power bulge on the bonnet, the little vents, the bespoke rims, the big brakes. I tell you what, this thing is not only classy and stylish, but mega tough. We just couldn't go past the Lamborghini stand. The Versace Special Edition was pure porn in jet black with black wheels and a white Versace interior. This, people, is how it's done. They also had the lightweight performance version of the Lamborghini Gallardo, the Super Leggera. A heap of carbon fibre reduces the weight by 100 kilos, and revised suspension and super sticky rubber makes it a true performance version. Now, we just need to find a way to convince Lamborghini Australia that we need to do a product review on one. There was also a host of Italian beauties on the Ferrari stand. The Motor Show is also a chance for manufacturers to debut new technology and showcase their future plans. Well, I wasn't expecting to find any ignition quality feature cars here at the Sydney Motor Show, but I've been proven wrong. It's the Alpine Chrysler 300C demo car that we featured back in edition 22. This beefed up Mazda 3 MPS Extreme caught our attention with its JDM styling enhancements and potent turbo engine. Let's hope it makes it into production. The Mazda 3 MPS has been taking the hot hatch market by storm, as it's got a hell of a lot of power for such a little car, but here at the Sydney Motor Show, Mazda's taken it one step further with this Mazda 3 MPS Extreme. Let's hope they actually get it into production just like this. Subaru also had the new Impreza range on display, along with a mock-up of the new WRC car. Now, the launch of the new WRX in Australia has been met by quite a lot of controversy. Now, I said I wouldn't pass judgment on what they look like until I got to see one in the flesh. Now, all I'm going to say about the new one is that it ain't for me. But let's see what some other people have to say about it.
So what do you think of the new WRX?
Very nice, actually. No, it's very nice. I must admit, the shapes of the Impreza it's gone leaps and bounds.
Not quite as Boy Racer, but it's not too bad. I don't mind it.
Got one the other day and a beautiful car.
It's pretty sexy.
Yeah, you would like one?
Yeah, first car maybe.
Subaru has moved away from the boy racer image with the new WRX, with a more refined, hot hatch styling to appeal to a wider global market. The 2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo engine remains, along with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Torque, drivability and handling is said to be improved. We'll be sure to keep you informed once we have a drive. An equally important part of the show is the promo chicks. See you next year, girls.
3, 2, 1, go.
Right now, when you purchase a 10-issue subscription to Hot 4s magazine for only $89.50, you'll also receive a 5-issue subscription to High Performance Imports worth $49.75 absolutely free. To take up this great deal, or to check out our other special subscription offers, including further discounts and awesome free gifts, log in and head to www.hot4s.com.
3, 2, 1, go.
What's up? My name is Pete. My friends call me Drift Monkey.
What I'm trying to do at the moment is just combine a bit of all my backgrounds, a bit of my dance, gym, sort of acrobatics, everything like that, throw it in with my passion of cars and just try and create a bit of a show. Definitely probably my favourite move that I enjoy doing the most at the moment is rodeo helis or door seal helis. It gets to a point where you almost get a bit bored and you're like, what else can I try?
Exquisite Customs. From custom body modifications, airbrushing, paint and panel, to full custom interiors and complete audio installs, to suspension, wheels and tyres. Australia's first and only one-stop shop for all your customisation needs. www.xcustoms.com.au. The versatility of the Silvia never ceases to amaze. It can be used for anything, and almost every type of engine has been shoehorned under its bonnet. When the SR20 can't make enough grunt to satisfy, fitting a 6-cylinder is often the answer. But fitting a 2JZ GTE with a big turbo to Pete's S13 has resulted in one of the toughest mongrel street cars around.
Hi, my name's Pete. I'm 21 from Brisbane and this is my S13. When I first bought it, it was really utterly green. It was auto and everything was standard. Started modifying it when I lost my license. Got it all resprayed in orange. Tried drifting it when it was auto, but it just didn't work. And then done the full manual conversion. Started drifting that, but I kept blowing up the SR20 gearboxes. I punched out 200 kilowatts, 1.1 bar, but it wasn't enough.
Pete's Silvia has always been a neat and tidy looking street car. With Nismo side skirts, Veilside rear bar and a respray in blood orange, the G-Max drift rims fit the bill perfectly. The rims aren't the only drift parts either. Under the car is a set of D2 coilovers and a host of G4 adjustable suspension arms and a GTR sway bar. The interior is all functional as well, with Monza bucket seats, Autometer C2 gauges and a Momo steering wheel. The rear seat has been ditched in favour of a bolt-in half cage, which is probably a good idea considering the power this S13 now has under Pete's right foot.
When choosing the 2J conversion, I thought it would be a lot more reliable than a 400 horsepower SR package.
The 2JZ is known for how tough they are from factory and can handle a huge power upgrade without touching the internals. This makes it a pretty sensible engine conversion, as it's much cheaper to get big power levels and is a lot more reliable and drivable.
I'd rather have a 400 horsepower 2J over the SR purely for the fact that it's not much strain on the motor, a lot more torquier, and there's a lot more power potential on the 2Js. I looked into the price of making a 400 horsepower SR, but all the prices for that was through the roof.
With the custom engine and gearbox mounts holding in the 2JZ, Peter had a GT3582R turbo fitted, which blows through a custom PWR intercooler. It was placed under the radiator support, so short piping could aid throttle response. A custom 3-inch exhaust and screamer pipe were also made up. A surge tank and Bosch pump hidden under the car feed the 880cc injectors in the custom fuel rail with an Aeromotive fuel reg. An alloy radiator aids cooling, while Bosch coil packs aid the ignition system. The Autronic SM4 and Autronic boost controller have been tuned to give Pete's car a tad over 400 horsepower on only 16 pounds. At a recent dyno comp running less boost, Pete's S13 pumped out an easy 380 horsepower. R154 gearbox from a Sora was chosen to harness the power through an NPC clutch with an R33 Skyline diff and shafts up the back. With drivable and reliable power, Pete's onto a good thing with his 2JZ GTE powered mongrel. Now, who said purebreds were better?
Want to pimp your ride? Then visit Australia's original masters of pimp, Aussie Tyres. We have Australia's best selection of luxury and race wheels. For more information and store locations, check out aussietyres.com.au or ring 1300 699 699.
Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Big Dane. For the best rims and tires in Australia, make sure you see Aussie Tyres.
For an update on Project 200, head to the Tech Talk section in Ignition X.
So when are we getting a new Evolution Lancer?
Soon, my dear. Real soon. But it's time to get back at the topic at hand, drifting.
It's a new series of Stadium Drift, and the action was as good as ever.
Then we finish off this edition with another tough 300 kilowatt Evo Lancer from the Rigoli stable. Stadium Drift is back and we're about to cover all the action from the first round of the new series. The drivers are just about to battle it out on this tight and technical track, so let's check it out. The last Stadium Drift series was a smash, and this one is set to be the same, with 40 cars filling up the pre-booked spots. Many of the spots were filled up with experienced Drift Australia and Super Drift drivers. Leighton Fine and Darren Appleton from Team Peer were there, as were Josh Young and Eugene Aronson from the Sabre Nankang team. All right, we're here with Josh Young, mate. Looks like the V8 is really paying off at this track.
Yeah, it seems to like this track, but then again, I've always liked this layout, mate. It's always fun.
Danny Keneally was there, along with his Toyo Tyres Hogs Breath Cafe race team. Mate, you've been doing DA, you've been doing the local series and winning that. Stadium Drift as well. Is there anything you won't drift?
No, mate, whenever there's a drift event, we're there.
Now, I see you've got a nice crew here again this weekend, mate. It's like you guys are multiplying with the pink Hogs Breath cars. What's going on?
Yeah, no, we have been multiplying over the last couple of months. We've actually got 5 cars on the team now, so...
Tony Harrison was back, but due to a problem with his famous VN Commodore, he decided to use his daily driver instead.
I've had to drop back to the old drive car that's been towing the race car for the last 3 weeks.
You're drifting your tow car?
Yeah, I'll give it what for. It's a little bit heavy, but tell you what, I'll give anyone a run for their money and whatever.
All right, here with Camo. He made over 400 horsepower at the wheels on the dyno this morning. Mate, what's it like to drive with that much power on such a little track?
Awesome, mate. I wouldn't want to do it any other way.
All right, our Kazakhstani drifter, Eugene. Mate, this track's pretty tight and you've got a big turbo and a little engine. What's it like?
It sucks.
How you feeling tonight?
Yeah, feeling good. The car's feeling good. These events are just awesome. Great competition and, I mean, look at the atmosphere. Wow, Hollywood.
The cars come out in 2 groups and the judges score every run. So skill as well as consistency are important. Josh Young and Adam Gibbs were last season's 1-2 and were picked as favourites from the get-go. But their competition was very tough. Defending champion of the last Stadium Drift Series, Gibbsy, is the pressure on?
Oh yeah, tonight it is. There's a lot of good drivers here tonight, so we'll see how we go.
The judges picked the top 4 drivers, which was no easy task. And it came down to Josh Young in the V8 Sprinter, Adam Gibbs in the Sylvia, Tim Ottaway in the 1JZ powered Celica, and Anthony Kellum in the Kaizen Garage Toyota Trueno. In the end, it was Josh Young who would come out on top, with Gibbsy in second and Anthony Kellum in third. The next Stadium Drift round will be held under lights at the Lexmark Indy 300. We'll be there to cover the action. For more event info, head to stadiumdrift.com.
When you hit the web, www.hot4s.com is the place to be. Sit down, log in and hang on, because the Hot 4s website is full on. Where else can you read your favourite articles, watch awesome videos, download top quality images and hang out with a ton of like-minded car fanatics? There's info about upcoming events, the latest news, regularly updated feature cars and girls, a forum packed full of info, and our latest edition, Respect, a place where your ride gets featured for everyone to see. You can also subscribe to the magazine or sign up to receive the Hot 4s newsletter, which puts you in the running to win awesome prizes. The Hot 4s website is like a 20B turbo drag car. If you look away, you'll miss out.
Australia's only dedicated drifting publication is back with Drift Central 2. Over 2 hours of drifting action from the makers of Ignition DVD. There's coverage of the entire 2007 Toyo Drift Australia Championship Series with an exclusive feature on the final round. See Australia's top drivers and wildest drift cars, including the GT Autosound twin-turbo V8 Skyline, the Slide Effects Drift Team, Corporal Christian Pickering in the CTS 180SX, Darren Afro Appleton, plus many more. See exclusive footage from international events and features on the HKS NZ S15 and Mad Mike's Triple Rotor RX-7 from New Zealand. It's a must-have for every drifting fan. Only $14.95, it's available from all leading newsagents and Autobarn stores. A union is created, an emergence of singularities combined to create one superior being, a reaction that causes a simultaneous release of uncontrollable energy, an anomaly greater than the sum of its parts. This is fusion.
Hi, I'm Chris, I'm 27 years old and this is my Evo 9. I used to drive an 05 STI. The reason I got the Evo is it's just a lot more refined, it just drives nicer.
Tuning philosophies for the Lancer Evolution are as varied as the results they yield. It's more about having the right mods instead of all the mods. And Chris kept his vision in line with his goals and created a dynamic fusion of power, performance and grip.
I got the Evo on the 24th of December last year, brand new. I never planned on modifying it. Maybe I had a boost controller in the back of my head and that was as far as I was going to go. I had an STI and I moved to the Evo just basically for something different. I like the Evos and STIs sort of equally, but I wanted to go to more track car and the Evo was aimed more at the track than the STI.
Simplicity itself makes this Evo a wolf amongst the herd. You won't find anything decadent on its Argon exterior, just pure functionality with a carbon fibre bonnet and Ralliart aerodynamic carbon mirrors. A tough JDM wheel package was chosen for its light weight and width. Enkei Advan RS at 19 by 9 inches wrapped in 245 wide rubber, their mission is simple, grip and lots of it. To complement the factory carbon touches, a Ralliart shift knob and console surround were added.
Overall goal for the car was basically a mix between sort of high-speed motorway runs and still be an animal in the twisties without turbo lag. As far as my car's concerned now, it's pretty much as far as I'm going to take it because it double the power of standard, and I still retain all my daily driving qualities.
At the nucleus of this atomic reactor is a built 4G63, a respected platform in stock form, but a violent mistress when tweaked. Before power must come strength, and Chris used nothing but the best with ARP and HKS internals. A lot of custom work was chosen over off-the-shelf items to get the absolute best result out of this combination of parts. The boys at Regoli put together custom headers and a complete turbo back exhaust. The workmanship on these items is staggering, and the quality rivals a majority on offer from the big-name Jap tuning houses. At the heart of this power plant is a Garrett GT3037 turbo, funneling 25 pounds of boost from the HKS EVC5 boost controller to the 48mm Turbo Smart external wastegate. 1000cc injectors are fed from a Bosch 044 fuel pump and a 2-litre surge tank. All the vitals are kept under control with an EMS 8860 ECU and a host of dash-mounted DEFI gauges.
What I love about my Evo is basically the handling. Coming from an STI, it's just a lot smoother into the corners. AYC sorts out any little mistake that you make, so even the not so good drivers turn into a superstar.
Spawned of earthly origin, refined by man, but truly a fusion of something out of this world.
That was a pretty good episode. I can't believe Ignition's going international.
Hey, it had to happen eventually. Now, it's still the early stages, but we're sure to keep you guys posted.
Now don't forget to head to the Ignition X section to check out our project cars and product review features.
You know what though?
What?
Next issue is our Indy special.
That's right, we've got a feature on the Lexmark Indy 300 as well as the Miss Indy competition.
We've also got features from the drift cars at Indy, and we've got all the action from the on-track drifting demos, and it's some pretty wild stuff. I reckon I'd have to say it's the best drifting footage we've ever taken.
It's a pretty big call.
I'm going to stand by that call, so make sure you check out the next issue of Ignition DVD.
See you then.